action. All right, everybody, we're going to wait for a few more minutes before we start our presentation today. Thank you for everyone for coming. All right. Okay, I know you guys have classes in a little bit, so we'll go ahead and start. Thank you for coming to the University of Vacaro's admissions presentation. Today, I'm going to cover what our campus has to offer, the application process, and answer your questions. Okay, so let's start with your questions. Any questions out there? Okay. All right. Any questions? Any about the applications? All right, is there anyone out there maybe, because I just like to start with questions before you forget. So is there any question about the location or campus life?
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
How big is your campus and what type of student life activities are created for the entire campus?
Okay, so we are actually on 400 acres. So even though we're a medium-sized campus, we are on some beautiful rolling hills. Don't worry, for those who don't want to take stairs, we have shuttle buses that take you all around. Tons of clubs and activities. Even though we're medium-sized, we have 200 different clubs. You can even create your own club. We give funding for students for doing that. There is a fraternity row on our campus, even though we are medium-sized. And the part that a lot of our students like, we do have Wednesday nights lights. So literally we have a light show for students, huge slides that have fluorescent lights on it, whole tons of activities. So plenty to do during the school day and even after the school day as well. All right, now, so I'm going to talk about the college application process unless other people have questions. So on our campus, we are a community that's focused on scholars, and we want our students to pursue passion through their academics. And our academic program is a flexible curriculum, meaning you could choose to take any type of classes, even if it's in or outside of your major, right? And then we also give you hands-on experience plus research as well, too. So we do offer a lot of majors in our College of Science. We also have College of Business, Education, a lot of internships in the school settings, College of Health out there. And also we also have engineering and applied science for all our STEM lovers. So let me talk a little bit about all the steps of the application. So we either are taking the common application, which you could go answer our specific questions for Vacaro University. And then we also have requirements for recommendations and reports. One of those reports are your school reports from your school counselor, and they will also give us a high school transcript of all your grades. And we only need one teacher recommendation, so just one. And then later on, your counselor should send us a mid-year report, which is an updated transcript after your fall semester grade. So whether you're applying early decision, early action, or regular decision. And one of the things that we are continuing doing, we are still a test optional campus. So that's something that's important. We are still a test optional campus. Okay. All right. So any questions? I know there's a lot of information about our majors and the application. Any questions out there about that? Okay. Oh, I see, Chloe, you have a question.
Yes, thank you. Can you talk about how a student should decide if they should submit their test scores or not, since your campus is test optional?
Yeah, so it's a personal decision. And just remember, if you do submit your test scores or you don't, we only are going to judge you based on what you present to us, right? So it's your personal decision of whether you want to send us a score. So you feel that it highlights your application, send us those test scores. If you feel it doesn't highlight your application, it's totally fine to just select you're going test optional for our campus. Great. All right. And then now I want to talk a little bit more about our majors. So because we do have the field of health, a lot of people assume that maybe we have nursing majors. We don't have nursing majors. However, our program provides a lot of students that go to graduate program in the health field, and they still have a lot of internships. Both the department and also our career center does an amazing internship program. For some of you guys don't know, in in San Francisco, our campus actually has a campus right down by Salesforce as well too. Yeah, so it's something that we're really proud and committed to doing on there. Our School of Business has a lot of different focuses on that. And then our College of Arts and Sciences is a whole spectrum, whether it be arts, biology, physics, other traditional STEM majors, humanities. So it's a full range, but a lot of hands-on experience so that you could bring to your career and really help you to kind of fine-tune who you are as a person as well too. Okay, so is there any other questions before I conclude? Because I know you do have some classes to attend to later on.
I have a question. Are test scores required? And I was wondering if you guys have football at this campus.
Okay, thanks for your question, Gabe. As I mentioned earlier, we are a test optional, so it's not required. It's up to you whether you want to give us your test scores or not. So it's all on your plate to decide on that. And yes, we do have a football team. We are a Division I school. We're not, often on ESPN, but we have a lot of great school spirit on our campus. And then Chloe, I still see your hand up. Do you have a question too?
No, I do not have a question right now, but thank you so much. This is very helpful.
Oh, that's great. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Okay. Any other questions that may be out there?
I have a question. So how can I make myself stand out on my application if I'm concerned about not getting it?
So remember, the main thing about your application is present your story and all the hard work you've done all your 4 years. Every year the application pool changes. So, our profile of an admitted student changes every year. But if you ask me, what does a rejected profile look like, or students we deny, it looks the exact same way. So be your authentic self on your application. Make sure you list all that and use recommendations of people who really know you and can speak who you are as a person and as a student.
Okay. Also, before I forget, can you talk about the party life at the school or?
So as an admission counselor, I don't tend to go to the parties on there. What I can tell you from our students is that they're very active on campus, and they really enjoy their experience both inside the classroom and outside the classroom as well. Thank you, Delaney, for asking your question.
Okay, thank you for answering all our questions. I am so sorry, but I have one more.
Okay.
So I get really nervous on Zoom meetings. Is it okay if I email you and ask you more questions later on?
Oh yeah, so what I'm gonna do right now in the chat, so right on the bottom, you guys are pros at this. I'm gonna put my email and my contact information, but feel free also to follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter as well too. So make sure to do that. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I am your regional rep, so I will be looking at your applications, and I look forward to obtaining all your applications, guys.
Oh my God, thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. All right, guys. So for those of you watching our show, just to let you know, we have some amazing students on our panel who were totally acting, totally pretending, because they're such superstars in my life. I said, hey, try to act not being yourself, right? So we have here Chloe, Gabe, and Delaney. And we did this video because a lot of times students forget how they present themselves on Zoom, because let's just be honest, we were all forced into it because of COVID and we had no training, none of us. So each of them are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what are their tips and recommendations when you are presenting on Zoom. Because remember, even though more people are going in person, doing tours, this is about also how to present yourself on Zoom, but just in general as well, because you're making an impression and it's really quick. So keep that in mind, because you deserve the best, because you've worked so hard all these years. Okay, Delaney, can you start for us?
Yes. So I think because of COVID, we all got a little bit comfortable sitting in our beds and going on Zoom, but we need to make sure that if you're going on a Zoom, you want to sit at a desk, try to find a private place where, there won't be too many distractions. Maybe let the people you're living with know, okay, I'm going on a call this time, mom, so don't barge in my room. But yeah, just find a quiet space and, communicate if something does happen. It's okay. Like that happens to all of us. But they will notice if you're not present. So just communicate with them, hey, something just happened. I'll be right back on. And that's it.
No, that is so true. We're all human. Sometimes how you handle an uncomfortable situation, just communicating, says a lot about yourself versus just, oh, well. And yeah, if parents or guardians are listening, you got not to be in the background. You think you're hiding? I can't tell you how many meetings I'm in and I see the parents in the background, or they'll go, excuse me, can I ask a question? No, that's naughty. Even before I did this YouTube show, I said, we're recording now, so please let your family know. And if things happen, go, hey, sorry, it's my little brother, little sister, my beautiful aunt. It's fine, they get it, but just make sure that you communicate. It's so important. What about you, Gabe?
So we kind of already know this, but like there's a lot of information with like a lot of different colleges. So you got to like do the research with just basic information, like majors, application, the actual application, those requirements, student life, like sports, clubs, and like, I guess like even parties, and then like take notes for yourself. If you didn't hear a response on the Zoom, kind of say like, sorry, I'm sorry I didn't get this, and then ask your question, but don't ask the question again if like you weren't or don't ask the question if like the response was given if like you weren't really like listening like fully.
So important.
So that's kind of it. Yeah.
No, and then I think party life. Don't ask the old lady on the other end about the party life. That just shows where your priorities are, which we know that's what you want to know about. There's other programs where you can learn about that. I'll hook you with some alumni so you can talk to at the campus. But at the same time, too, if you are a note taker, like if I don't take notes, it's really hard for me to listen if it's about details. So sometimes you can put it even on the chat if you don't want to interrupt the reader and just say, oh, I'm going to be taking notes. So my apologies for not eye contact, because like, oh, I don't want them thinking I'm doing my homework or something. Just again, communication is so key. What about you, Chloe?
Okay, I would say don't worry too much about it and don't feel like you have to be overly prepared, but make sure you do some research on your own. And I would say the best access to information about these colleges would be through videos on YouTube, podcasts, etc., because every college has these. But in other words, the meeting shouldn't be the only thing you do, because the meeting by itself is not enough. I would advise emailing the reps, asking more questions about the school, virtual visits, the interview process, etc. And the most important thing is to get a sense of whether the school is the best for you and provides an environment that will allow you to grow and succeed.
Yeah, and as you saw in this example, Chloe was the example of what to do. You saw that she was asking questions, and there was a moment of silence, and she still put it out there. And if you feel like I'm the only one asking questions, maybe don't ask 5 questions, but 2 or 3 strong ones, right? 2 maybe, right? And then you could follow up with email. And also, don't feel you have to be over prepared, everybody, right? You don't have to be in a blazer and present all that stuff. One thing is, though, it's really, I'm going to show you guys. I told our great cast members, we don't have a makeup crew, to have, especially Delaney and Gabe, to have terrible hair. And they still look gorgeous with their terrible hair, right? So literally, I've seen students where their hairs are literally sticking up the wrong direction. I'll do it to myself, like this. I have some people like that. You can't see their eyeballs, or just even, I have no problem. When you're old, you care less. Or you're like, and you think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. But just be yourself. And also present yourself, right? If you're going to see a grandparent that you really appreciate, admire, present yourself the same way. Be yourself. It's not the end all, and this is not the only time to connect with those reps. So don't forget those emails. They even know whether you open your emails or not. There's virtual visits to do. And then just take them in baby steps out there. But most importantly, I'm just so blessed, right? Whoever's watching this, Chloe, Gabe, Delaney, wonderful cast members, wonderful human beings. Thank you for putting yourself out there in not the most favorable light. And thank you for help educating so many people out there today.